Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michelle N. Samuel, and I have called this meeting. This is basically an introductory meeting to have a brief discussion with the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Kenson Casimir, with myself and my team representing the organization SLUDTERA. I am the founder and president of SLUDTERA. It is actually a platform of programs and initiatives that source, connect, and empower youth, the unemployed, and entrepreneurs with an aim to improve communities, provide access to employment, and of course, help the environment. And we achieve these goals through our 3-pillar process, which is education, training, and entrepreneurship. And we do this by working in collaboration with individual entrepreneurs, businesses, units of government, educational institutions, labor and community-based organizations. We are a social enterprise. And I am joined by 2 members of my board. So I have the Vice President, Ms. Lisa Yard, and our Treasurer, Ms. Malika Amade. I will permit them to briefly introduce themselves. Lisa, we'll start with you.
Good day, everybody. Good day, Honorable. My name is Lisa Yard. I am the Vice President for SLUDTERA, and as mentioned, we host a number of initiatives, mostly for helping the youth, and this is that's what we do for now. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't get most of what you said because there was a wind blowing through for a second and it kind of distracted from what. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Lisa Yard. As indicated, I'm the Vice President for SLUDTERA. And yes, everything that she says, that's what we are here to. We are here in a basket full of pretty roses to discuss. Thank you.
Okay, Malika, go ahead, please.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Malika Amade. The treasurer of SLUDTERA. I'm a small business owner, and I guess I'm just happy to be on this team.
Okay, thank you very much, Malika, for that introduction. So these are just 2 other members of our board. We have 2 other members who are unable to make it because they are fully employed, although they are as well entrepreneurs. So we are a team of entrepreneurs, 2 members, of course, who are fully employed, gainfully employed, as I stated. And those of us who are here are actually full-time entrepreneurs. So what we wanted to do was to fully introduce you to who we are and what it is that we do, because our organization is very important to us. And of course, with the previous government, they were fully aware of the programs and initiatives that we have in place, particularly with interest in the youth. And we wanted to introduce you to what it is that we do so that you are familiar of course, where we fit into this. And our goal and our aim is to establish a relationship with your ministry and potentially get some sort of backing and acknowledgement from your ministry and work in some sort of collaboration and potentially some support from the government. So what I'm going to do is to just give you an overview as to the programs that we currently run and those that we are planning to launch in the coming year. Of course, after we have met with our board and worked on the budget, we are going to be launching a few additional programs to add to our roster. So in terms of our spectrum and framework, the way we work is that we work as a social enterprise. Now, that meaning that we generate profits, but our profits are reinvested back into those very same programs and initiatives that I spoke of. So 80% of that is reinvested, while 20% of that is allocated towards, of course, paying salaries and covering any additional costs. Now, the larger spectrum of the work that we do is equated with entrepreneurship and education. That's basically what we focus on, and then we look at employment and then training. Now, employment in the sense of having people utilize the skills and resources that they currently have and empowering them to use that to generate income for themselves. Because of course, as we have known with COVID, persons cannot simply depend on getting a job or getting work. So we are empowering persons and training them to work for themselves and gain employment that way. Now, we are, of course, acknowledging 4 of the SDGs, or 4 to 5 of the SDGs through the Sustainable Development Goals. That is goal 4, 8, 9, 10, 13, and of course 17, because we do everything that we do through our partnerships. But what we have really prized ourselves on is the relationships which we have developed thus far. We have a very strong relationship with the US Embassy, and of course, by extension, the US Department of State, through which they have been the ones funding a lot of the programs and initiatives that we currently run. But what we are looking for is more buy-in, more local buy-in and support from our local counterparts, of course, starting from policymakers such as government. But of course, we know that it has to start at the ministerial level. So just to introduce you to a few of the programs that we currently run and that are currently making an impact in society, we should say, is of course the first one is the Next Big Inventor competition. Now, if you've never heard of this competition, it was actually the brainchild of St. Lucian born but US-based Joshua Esnard. He's the founder and inventor of the Cut Buddy. And he, of course, landed his very first big deal with Shark Tank. And from since then, he has basically blown up into the self-made millionaire. So he wanted to sort of give back to the island. And the way he decided to do that was to create a competition for young persons, specifically persons of the secondary school age, so that they too can discover what may lie within them, which is life hacks, discovering life hacks to problems that we encounter every single day. So in 2018, we launched, 2018-2019, we launched what you call the Next Big Inventor competition. And we initially launched that with the Leon Hess Comprehensive School, which of course my alma mater. I had to start there. And it really brought forward a lot of potential from the students that not even Mr. Lubo knew that this existed. So the challenge we gave them was to deal with sargassum. And we partnered with Algas Organics as their mentor and partner so that he can provide some sort of insight and guidance through them participating in this competition. And I am pleased to say that 3 of those students came up with life hacks and actual products that could be marketed to shelf or literally brought to the market. However, the support could not go beyond our local capacity, mainly because of the fact that these were minors, and there are certain laws and regulations with, of course, minors owning businesses and minors, creating income within our society. So that really proved to be a challenge. So we could not go beyond what we would have really wanted to do, which is take those things to market. So we had a team creating bath and body products. We had a team creating sand, which would turn into blocks for construction. And then we had a team that was turning it into biofuel. And this team that was turning the sargassum into biofuel competed in a global competition, and she placed 3rd overall in the national leg, and is being recognized globally for her innovation with the sargassum seaweed. Unfortunately, again, because of the laws and regulations with regards to minors owning businesses, she could no longer go further than establishing a business in the name along with her mother. And that was basically the furthest we could take it from there. And right now we're just trying to see how we can assist her beyond that. But like I said, these are just a couple of stumbling blocks. Now, we did have a hiatus for this year because, of course, COVID really hit us really hard, and we were not able to have the competition this year, but we do plan to have it in the coming year. So in terms of the time frame, it usually launches in March and it goes around until November, which would be Business Month, where we celebrate persons who contribute to the economy. And we, again, like I said, we hope to launch it next year, but we're looking for more support for the program so it can be a more viable program that persons can really invest in, and the students can really see that that is an income generator for them. Because one of the incentives that the parents bought into this is because the students would be able to earn an income and not solely depend on the parents. So that was one of the things that they really bought into. And that was something that could have been achieved if there was not that hindrance there. Okay, so that is just the next big inventor competition. The other program that we have running, and this is the third year, is the St. Lucia's Queen's Commonwealth essay writers. And this is a ceremony or an award ceremony where we recognize literary champions within our student body. This competition is ongoing for many years now as the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition. But in terms of the St. Lucian participation, our students have performed extremely well over the past couple of years, and we have recognized them every single year. Some of them reaching as far as gold finalists and missing the top places by just a few marks, by 1 mark actually. And that was last year, or no, that was this year, where one of our students actually from Viewfort, she missed it by just 1 mark to actually reach the top 4. And so what we do is that we have this ceremony, we bring along, of course, our partners to of course, collect prizes and to recognize these students, and of course, to help nurture their skill for writing by putting them in mentorship workshops with established writers. We've done this in the past with the St. Lucia Writers Forum. And this year we partnered with Mr. Arnold Henry, the published writer and author. And he did provide some sort of support in terms of mentoring to the winning students. And this coming year, the results are out. I'm just waiting to hear what our students have done so far. And what in terms of what we have accomplished is that the ceremony has now made it onto the Nobel Laureate Festival. And this would be our, I think, 2nd year being as part of the calendar. So in January of 2022, that ceremony will once again be on the St. Lucia Nobel Laureate Festival calendar to recognize these students. And the purpose for this particular event is to seek out our next Nobel laureate in literature. That is the aim. Because of course we celebrate our Nobel laureates every single year. We celebrate Mr. Derek Walcott. However, we have to understand that these persons have passed. Granted, they have made a really great contribution to us. You know, most number of, Nobel laureates per capita in the country, in the world, I get that. But we have young, bright talents that are up and coming that are being overlooked. So this is what our aim is. And through this initiative, we were able to get some endorsement from the Ministry of Education at the time through Honorable Rigobert, the former minister. And we are looking and hoping to get support again through the current Minister of Education, of course, through some connection through you, so that we can continue to get that support to champion and recognize these young student writers. And the programs that we are looking to launch next year is a collaboration. So the very first one is the Youth and Mentoring Training Program. And this is, and the other one is the Youth Leaders Summer Employment Program, where persons are provided internship either through our organization or through our partners to attain some sort of workforce development training, not only as an employee, but also as a potential executive owning their own, learning how to run and manage a business. And we are doing this in partnership with our St. Lucian Youth Ambassadors. These are, again, students who have participated in the U.S. Embassy's Youth Ambassador Program. It happens every single year, albeit this year it took place virtually due to travel was not possible. It is usually a 6-week program where students who have 1 year remaining in secondary school get to travel to the United States to get leadership and training and workshops. And then they come back to St. Lucia, they prepare a proposal are awarded a grant from the embassy to implement programs and projects that can actually impact youth within their community, whether it be physical community or whether it be in the educational community. And what it is that we're doing is that we, through the fact that we are alumni of US Department of State programs, we have access to support where we can implement programs specifically for youth in St. Lucia, and we can get support from the US government by doing so. However, they definitely want to encourage us to get local buy-in, and that has been the challenge, to get ministerial support so that when we launch these programs, we can actually get endorsement from the ministries, and then by extension, the supporters of the ministries, whether it be their partners, their sponsors, can also come on board with us to ensure that these things are implemented effectively. So this is the purpose of us having this meeting, just to introduce you to what it is that we do, what it is that we plan to do, and to, of course, be able to show you the results of what our programs have achieved thus far, particularly with the youth, and to hopefully get an endorsement from your ministry. So this is what we have to present to you this afternoon, Honorable Casimir.
All right, what exactly the acronym SLUDTERA stand for?
We get that a lot, and I call that a conversation maker. It doesn't stand for anything, as a matter of fact. It's just a nice sounding word. It rolls off the tongue well. I mean, sometimes it makes you think of the cartoon, but you know, hey, I'm not upset in any way, shape, or form. But it's just a conversation, you know, maker. Really, there's no acronym behind it. That's just the name of it.
Okay, cool. In terms of the Ministry of Sport, as you know, this is my second month into this position. Was there any level of intervention coming from my predecessor? At any point, was there this sort of presentation made to him in times past, or the ministry?
I would say no. We have been trying for years and we have not been getting. This meeting is the first breakthrough in years. And Lisa can attest to that because she's been with me from the onset. I was even surprised to get a response. This is literally how much we have been trying. The only sort of leeway we got, or foot in the door that we got, or a breeze when you open the window, is when we had the former education minister, Minister Rigobert, attend one of our sessions. And then after seeing what it was about, she then endorsed the program and then proceeded to then promote and then share those events whenever they would happen. So this was basically the extent to which we had any sort of discourse with regards to what it is that we do.
Just give me 1 second, eh?
Sure, not a problem.
Hello? Hey, what's up? Let me call you back. Kenson Casimir, by the way. Let me call you right back. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, brilliant. And you have been in existence for how long?
Since December of 2017.
Okay, all right. So in terms of what I have seen so far, I think it goes in line with a lot of the things that I've been saying St. Lucia actually needs. Persons that are, you know, thinking about innovation, entrepreneurship, pretty much taking the bull by the horn and starting businesses. Of course, if you follow the election campaign this year, there was a lot of conversation about a youth economy. For the first time in St. Lucia's history, 42 years, we've actually established a ministry for the youth economy, and we've actually identified a minister for the youth economy. Does anybody in this forum know exactly who the minister for the youth economy is? I ask young people that all the time because I find the information has been so. Does anybody know?
It's been sort of mum. I've been looking out for it. Have not really.
I've been looking. No, I don't know myself. I mean, I've been very, as you rightly put it.
Yeah, Malika, no. No, okay.
Right. Casimir, you sure it's not you?
I think it's you. I think it's you. Not you.
I wish it would be. I wish it would be, but Minister for Youth Development and Sports and the Minister for the Youth Economy is the Honorable Prime Minister. His designation is the Minister of Minister of Finance, of Economic Affairs and the Youth Economy. So he is actually the Minister for the Youth Economy. And the youth economy is supposed to embrace a lot of what I heard presented there over the last 15 minutes, promoting entrepreneurship, promoting education that meets the needs of these entrepreneurs, empowering persons to work for themselves, having strong relationships with partners, including the US Embassy. And so when you implement things like the next big inventor, it speaks to exactly what a ministry of the youth economy is. The Ministry of the Youth Economy is supposed to take our young persons' talent, skills, and turn it into entrepreneurship. It's supposed to promote thinking outside the box. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to allow for people to throw the box completely, forget about that box, and do what we need to do in order to build entrepreneurship, which would then redound to the creation of more employment for our people. And it is very, very, very amazing that this presentation was made today to me as somebody that most persons thought would have been the Minister for the Youth Economy. I think for sure the nature of what was presented to me needs to be presented in addition, not divorced from what the Ministry of Youth and Sports, well, youth development is supposed to do and be. I will obviously present myself to you all as another policymaker that would first and foremost endorse what is being presented here and provide support at any juncture once the finances allows us to. But the collaboration has to be made with the Ministry of the Youth Economy and therefore the Minister of the Youth Economy. I can tell you the Minister is also the Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, as I said, and Economic Affairs. And so it would be very difficult to lock down that sort of presentation that you had with me, despite the fact that I'm extremely busy myself. But I would definitely recommend, as you said, this meeting is introductory, that going forward, that I sit on a meeting with the Honorable Prime Minister and have a similar presentation be made to him once that ministry is officially established. I say once it's established because the actual, like I said, we've been in government for just about 2 months. And so the actual format, the structure, the building for the Ministry of the Youth Economy, the conceptualization phase is still going on right now. Whereas the entire concept it has been there because, of course, during the campaign, a lot by way of consultation with youth groups were enacted. The actual establishment of that youth economy has not been done. And so I think now is the opportune time, while it is being conceived, for SLUDTERA to actually have that communication with those that would be perhaps performing all of the duties of that youth economy to ensure that you all get the support that you would need for most of the entrepreneurial aspect of what you want to do. I like the fact that you all are looking to find the next Nobel laureate, because I have a similar thing in terms of sports, finding the next LeVern Spencer. LeVern is now 37. We need to find the next LeVern Spencer. And so succession planning has not been something that we as a nation has been known to do in a very successful way. And so I really admire that aspect of what you all need to do. My question for you all is exactly, what do you all need from me as the Minister of Youth Development and Sports?
Okay, well, what I will do before I state what it is that the organization needs, I will allow my colleagues, because each person can speak for themselves, but then I will cap it off with mine, but I will allow them to go before myself. So Malika, we'll start with you, then we'll go to Lisa, and then I will conclude. You're still muted.
Could you repeat that again, Michelle?
He's asking, what do we want from him in terms of What are we asking him for? What do we want from him?
We probably want an office in ministry where we could implement all we have said there today. Just joking. I guess because many of the initiatives that we've taken before, like it's not been known on a wider scale in St. Lucia. It's always like a small portion as to where we launch it, if it's in the school or wherever. So I think we're looking for that support where we could get better communication throughout St. Lucia to let people know what is going on and what we're doing. And of course, financial help.
Okay, thank you, Malika. Lisa?
Well, I'll echo the same sentiments as my predecessor. We're looking for recognition, support, and financial support is one of our biggest pet peeves right now. But the support we're looking for is and recognition is from different agencies apart from the government agencies. Different agencies recognize us as an organization that is willing to move forward and willing to work with us, in spite of the fact that we may be small, but we have a lot of initiatives that we can prove to be worthy. So yes, recognition, support, and financial support is one of our biggest requirements at this moment.
Okay, thank you very much, Lisa. And I will end it all by saying we have to first start with the policymakers. And once we can have that acknowledgement that we exist, that is, of course, the first step. And to, of course, have official endorsement of what it is that we do. So when persons see this, when persons hear about it, they will actually come to know and they will want to find out, hey, what it is that these people actually do. So when they hear about us and they see something in the paper or on the television or on the radio, they will know that this is something that actually works. This is something that is actually offered right here. So persons will no longer say, this is not available in St. Lucia. That's actually not the case. You know, through our connections, we're able to now, open up people's eyes and giving them opportunities and access and windows and doors. So this is what we're here for. And yes, we need the financial support. We are getting the backing from overseas, but we need support from our own. That's what we're lacking.
Okay, all right. I totally understand what the needs are in terms of support, communication, recognition. Yeah, because I have not heard much about it, and I'm somebody that is very involved in a lot of things, and so the recognition I think is very important, so that the goodwill could definitely flow through recognition. When you have that recognition, then you can actually pull in a lot more resources. So I guess the endorsement, as you said, of government ministries and policymakers would be very good. In terms of financial assistance, every single organization I can tell you needs financial assistance, and the requests have been coming fast and furious. But I will say something that is unique to this forum here today. It is about creating entrepreneurs. A lot of it is about entrepreneurship. It's about, small businesses being developed, which as a government, we must pay attention to and give due consideration because of the prospective employment that may be created from those sort of activities. And I guess that is why the Prime Minister in his wisdom decided that the Ministry of the Youth Economy be partnered with the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, because at the end of the day, the financial assistance that we need, that you all would need, would come directly from the Minister of Finance, who is also the Minister of the Youth Economy. And so that is why I propose today that we look at, as soon as the ministry is established, you have exactly the infrastructure for that ministry, that we come back again to the drawing board and have that partnership between the Minister of Youth Development, the Minister of the Youth Economy, and your organization. I think that is when we can actually draw down exactly how we move forward and how we provide the recognition and the support for you guys.
That definitely does sound like a plan. I do apologize. I did actually put a note in here saying that the meeting is going to cut off in less than 5 minutes because we have a 40-minute time limit on this thing. But definitely what we want to do is also maintain communication. It's all well and good that we had this introductory meeting, but people tend to sort of forget. And we want to ensure that we remain current. So what I would like to, of course, do is to continue sharing information with you with, of course, the things that we're currently doing so that you're remaining in the know. And, you know, we're at the forefront of your mind. So I would like permission to, of course, be sharing information with you. So if there's an email address that we know we can send something to you, or a page that we can share or tag, so that when we post stuff about the things that we're doing, you are also aware of what those are.
Okay, so my handles, you can find me at Kenson Casimir on Facebook. You can find me at Kenson Casimir on Instagram. My email address is oldfaithful@kensoncasimir@hotmail.com. That is the most reliable email address you can find me on. You can also send it to my Gmail, which is babycasimir@gmail, BAYBAY CAS. I check Old Faithful every morning.
Okay, so as you said, it's oldfaithful@gmail.com.
No. Sorry. When I say Old Faithful, my Old Faithful email address is Kenson Casimir at hotmail.com. Yeah, KENSONCASIMIR at Hotmail. That's the Old Faithful. When people hear you still have a Hotmail, I'm like, yes, I still cling on to my Hotmail, very much so. And that is the one I check daily. My Gmail is babycasimir@gmail.com. That's BAYR@gmail.com.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, so these are my handles. All right, if you want to send something via WhatsApp, you can send it at 4880929. But I swear to God that WhatsApp is not, I'm not very happy with WhatsApp again, because I literally am trying to sift through 2,560 WhatsApp messages.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. During this meeting, which you said about 40 minutes, I would have gotten about between 200 and 100 and something messages. So that's the nature. Yeah.
Okay. Well, of course, because the meeting is going to cut off, and I know that you have another meeting to get to, we want to be cognizant of your time. So I want to start off by saying thank you. Well, conclude by saying thank you for allowing us to meet with you, to have this introduction meeting. And of course, for my colleagues for joining me, Lisa and Malika, they're both busy women and they took their time as well to join us here. Thank you so very much again for listening to us, and we're looking forward to continue connecting with you and to keeping you updated with what it is that we're doing until we get to that fateful meeting with the actual Prime Minister to discuss these matters. So thank you again very much.
Absolutely, and enjoy the rest of the day. Keep doing the good work, all right?
Okay, there we go. Blessings.
All right, bye-bye.